Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Survivor 45 episode 10 reaction and review. I feel like we should just start this with a wellness check. Jess, how's it going? How are you feeling? Okay. This video is gonna
Listen,
be
this
you.
is like a farting episode. Everybody just farted up the whole episode. Bruce. Oh my God. What? Why? Listen, man, you're right at the end. Why wouldn't you just play that idol? Like, what in the world could anyone have said to you to have convinced you not to play that idol? Like, you're playing Survivor. Everybody's lying to I am in complete disbelief. I need a wellness check. It's things are not going well for me over here on Team Bruce. He's gone. And you know what? He didn't play his idol at a time that he knows that he needed to play his idol. So like, you did it to yourself, Bruce. You did it to me. You did it to me. I'm over here having a problem now, Bruce. Why did you do this to me?
Look what you have done, Bruce. You have broken her Bruce.
I was rooting for you.
You have broken her Bruce-loving heart.
Oh my goodness. I'm in complete disbelief. I cannot believe he did not play that idol. I don't know what was said to him that convinced him, because I didn't see anything in that episode that would have made me as Bruce feel like I'm not playing this idol.
I don't know. I don't understand. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to be Survivor mastermind, not that I ever was, and just be like, there's a logical reason? There's no logical reason, Bruce.
No, not only is there no logical reason, but obviously the edit was going to be put together this way so that we could all be over here being like, what happened?
Yep.
But like, there was not enough storytelling that they did show us that then lets me go back and sort of like think about it and be like, oh, maybe it was the way so-and-so said whatever. I was just like, no.
Oh, if I'm Bruce, here's what I'm thinking of. I just won 2 immunity challenges.
Yes.
You know what that makes me? The biggest threat in the entire game, and it is not even close. You know what I have? A one-way ticket to the final 7. You know what else I can have? I can go find another idol after I play this idol, and that can maybe get me a ticket to the final 6. Or I can win immunity again, which I'm clearly very good at. And see, just Bruce, I'm sorry you did this to yourself. You're going to listen to us be hurt in this video because we feel personally attacked by your decision that you made.
Oh my God, do I need to do a wellness check on you, Matt?
Listen,
what's happening here?
I said that I had jumped ship to Team Bruce because I found Bruce very entertaining.
Yeah.
I still do not understand, like, the irrational, just like disdain everybody in this game seems to have for Bruce. Like, the jury was just like celebrating Bruce's, like, what did this guy do? I mean, maybe he's annoying out there, but it's like, we're not seeing anything in the edit that's like, Bruce is the worst person ever.
No, and he was really there for Jake to really try to help get him to the other side when he was sitting on the beach and, Bruce is coming over being like, you hit the Survivor wall. It's okay. I hit it a few days ago. You're going to get through it. I was like, oh, wow, Bruce, why didn't you play that idol?
Bruce,
I'm so mad at you.
You have some serious explaining to do. Rest assured, we have so much more to get into here. You know what? We also have weekly Survivor live streams where we talk all about this. We're going to be talking about this Bruce situation for many, many days on end. And we will be doing it on our Patreon where we have a live stream every week. You can check that out in the description. It helps to support us so much. I mean, it is a frustrating season at times, but it is a crazy season, and it's still one that we love to talk about, and I will probably rue this particular episode for many weeks to come.
This is one of the most difficult episodes I've ever had to watch, in between Katurah deciding to go and tell Bruce's lie to everybody and just expose him because revenge. And listen, I really love a good revenge story. If you've been watching our channel for a long time, revenge is one of my favorite themes on shows, whether it's reality TV or scripted TV. But like here, in this particular situation, I was like, Katurah, do you just not want to win? Like, I don't understand. And it was the same with Emily being like, oh, I'm going to be this mastermind and get out the person that everybody's trying to get out by making this move to try to convince him to not use this idol. It's like, Emily, do you also not want to win? all the Reba people are all still intact. And yes, there's a promo out there that looks like that Julie's going rogue, and that's fine, but they did not know that at this time with this episode.
I am so unbelievably annoyed at all of these people. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you know that there are 4 people on that tribe who were there at the beginning, who are probably very, very loyal to themselves, to each other. And you have to consider all of this. Like, Emily, I have been very team Emily for a lot of this season, but it's like, congratulations, Emily. You made a big strategic move getting rid of the person who a lot of people seemingly wanted out. You can celebrate that when you finish in 5th place later on and you're the last person voted out before this Reba 4 stick. I mean, if the Reba 4 don't stick together, then sure, you can do a victory lap. You can run around. You can come in the comment section on these videos and be like, ha, 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 I knew what I was doing. But you know what? If I am playing Survivor, there is no way in a million years that I am just willing to let a group of 4 stick together as long as they have, where it's to the point where they have the majority numbers and you're going to have to be really creative now to get rid of one of them.
Yeah. And guess who's sitting on a pile of idols? It's Austin, who also has immunity.
Yes.
It's just give them the game, give Dee the game. Like, it's one of the 2 of them are winning this season. They're going to get to the end. It is going to be one of the 2 of them. They just have so many votes. And Julie's issue is then going to be, if she's going rogue and she's going against Reba and all of that, if that's really, promos are misleading, who knows, right? But if that's really what she's doing, good luck getting this group of underdogs to all work together, because they had a chance in this episode and all they did was target each other.
This is the island of misfits. Like, I do not understand any of this. I understand, sure, Bruce may irritate people sometimes. Sure, he's also told some lies.
He's irritated me tonight by not using his idol.
Look what you've done, Bruce. Look what... No, really, it's just... Katurah, obviously, you already mentioned it, but this is a situation that's completely baffling, because you ever heard of the expression, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer? You can still have your revenge on Bruce at Final 6. At Final 5, you can do it at a time you'll still have the numbers elsewhere. It doesn't have to be right now. You can go back to camp and celebrate this, and then you can be voted out next. It is a really tricky, not great move to do here, seemingly. And I've questioned some of Katurah's moves for a while, because it seems just like she's content with the idea of riding with this Reba group just because she wasn't told about Bruce finding his idol at the time in which a lot of other people learned about it. And yes, that is annoying, that is stinky, but you got to just sort of look at the situation at hand, turn off all the blinders. Bruce will still be there. Bruce was not going to win every immunity for the rest of the season. I don't believe it. Yeah, he's good at challenges, but he is not the second coming of an Olympic athlete. And also, you can win challenges without being an Olympic athlete.
Absolutely. Like, there was a time to take out Bruce, and it was probably next time. Like, this time they needed to break up that Reba 4.
Yeah.
Emily knew it last episode, where she was kind of like, every time I float a name of anyone who was on the Reba tribe, the answer is no, 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 no. She knew it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so frustrated with Emily this episode as well, where it's like, okay, great. You got out somebody who could have actually helped you not be 5th. Like, why you don't have the numbers anymore? So well done.
Yeah, Bruce wasn't coming after Emily. Like, that was not like on the top of his priority list here.
No.
I mean, he voted for Julie, so clearly he was all about this plan to try to make sure that Julie was out of the game. This is just where I'm sort of left in this position of, okay, where do you people go from here unless you know something that I don't? I do want to stop in, though, and say, in the midst of all of my anger and frustration about a lot of these misfit people on the outside of Reba, here comes Jake, my Survivor Knight in shining armor, delivering the greatest moment of this episode, and quite possibly one of the greatest moments of the season.
It wasn't everybody just farting at camp?
No, I had already forgotten that happened, because I tried to block it from my game. Great.
Yeah.
Good job, Survivor. You have made apparently all men on Survivor, when they get together, they just want to fart and talk about food. Whatever. Okay. Jake, you versus Drew was hysterical. You totally clowned him. You won that argument. It was hilarious. Drew was trying to act entitled. You were not having it. Sure, you're on the outside of the numbers. Sure, you're probably going to be voted off soon. But what is Survivor if not a television show? And you have brought me great television, and I appreciate it.
No, it was an interesting, good, entertaining moment. I mean, if you guys have been here all season, you already know I'm not a fan of Drew. So him making these comments, sort of like hitting at his accent and calling him like a mobster or whatever he called him, it's just like, get out. Like, you don't need to be this rude to people. Like, I understand that you're feeling yourself and you're feeling protected and all of that, but you don't need to be this rude to people. And if Jake's just like, listen, I'm done with this conversation, that's actually a good thing, because if somebody's like, okay, I'm stepping out of a conversation, typically that means that they don't want to say something rude or be rude or get angry or whatever. Stepping out of a conversation is not always a bad thing.
It just feels like Drew really wants to present himself as a very specific sort of player on television. I think he probably wants to be this great next Survivor villain. And you know what? I don't mind you going for it, but you have to be able to really, really take the bull by the horns here. I don't think Drew has the it factor I'm looking for in a Survivor villain. Like, I don't look at him with the same level of enjoyment as I did a Tony or like a Boston Rob and like the heyday of Boston Rob or like a Parvati. Like, there was a charisma that I think those people had both in confessionals and also in the game. And it's just like Drew's trying to be almost two different people, whether he's with the other players or in confessionals. And it's a little bit confusing. I'm also just confused as to, you guys wanted to target Julie. Why do you not want to target Drew? Like, his name was already brought up.
Yes.
He's clearly like a Survivor super fan. He checks every single box for that. Get that guy out. You don't want the nerds to stick around, because the nerds are going to do all their little mental challenge, mastery later on, and then you're going to lose to the nerd.
Maybe. I feel like Drew's on the bottom of that. That was just sort of my feeling. I know that the younger people usually all stick together, but I just felt like Julie was going to be able to maneuver something to get Drew out at some point. And then, you don't want to sit at the end with, Mama Bear Julie. Like, nobody wants to sit beside the Mama Bear. You're going to lose. It's very difficult to beat somebody who's is in that role, even though it seems like she has definitely burned some jury votes, and good for her for trying to kind of fix some of that before she, if she gets to the end and has to make the speech to be like, hey guys, I'm really sorry, that she was able to kind of get some of that out now to try to smooth some things over. Maybe. I mean, Kendra doesn't look like she's cares in the least. She still feels like she's just like, listen, I'm hurt and I'm going to be continuing to be hurt. So, you messed up.
At the very least, I appreciate that Julie is as self-aware about this as she is right now, because this is a thing where people end up feeling more betrayed by, people who take on this maternal role in the game, and they get bitter towards them. Like, this has happened multiple times over the years, and because, you're in a specific role, I can't give you your vote now. It's like, okay, other people betrayed you too. It's just that she is a good social player, that she's been able to win some people over. Like, regardless of if she makes a big move or next in this upcoming episode, like, I want to root for Julie because I think she is smart. I think she is pretty aware. I don't think she is just sort of coasting with that group, which I was pretty worried about at a certain point in all of this.
Yeah, and she's been very close to winning a lot of challenges. Like, she is someone to look out for, but she has to stop burning people going out the door. And she's not doing it on purpose. It's like you said, there is sort of this feeling around somebody taking on kind of that role and then feeling betrayed by somebody who's, filling in for the mom role, because the mom would never betray anybody. It's a very difficult role to be in. Every show I've watched where somebody is in that role, like I just finished watching The Circle season 4, and there Mama Carol, she was in there as well, and it was just like, man, she was so popular, nobody wanted to step with her at the end. You had to get rid of her.
Okay, let's get to another part of this episode that is boggling my mind in a lot of ways, which is the sanctuary where good things happen. Okay, stop making that happen, Jeff. I really don't care. Also, I would never want to win this particular challenge ever. I don't want to win anything that it advertises, oh, you're going to get all these different rewards, because it just means people are going to be even more mad at you if they're not a part of that. I understand that Emily is still in the game. It hasn't hurt her right now, but I certainly think it could hurt her at some point down the line. Just leave me at the camp where I can fart with the guys, not really do anything, not make anybody jealous. I will get by. I will survive. I will be unhappy, but I don't want to go on this. I don't want to win this. I would have thrown this immediately.
She at least made the right decision with it, where she was just like, it's going to be a ladies' night. Let's all go, ladies. Then it makes it feel like she wasn't being strategic, because it feels like she wasn't being strategic. Because if she was, then the people she should be taking are like Bruce and Jake and Katurah and done deal. Let's go and let's deal with this kind of thing.
Okay, there's a part of this episode, and you guys can share some theories in the comments about this too, but I'm very confused about the situation with Katurah and her letter. And the reason I bring this up here is that I feel like Survivor, and I could be wrong, but wouldn't they ask the players going into the game who they would want their letters from? I mean, it feels like on Big Brother at the very least, and we cover Big Brother, I think you kind of can narrow down the list of the people who you want your HOH letter from, unless you're mad and you're getting it from another player close to the end of the season. But it feels like you're not going to be like, okay, just pick it from whoever, because then there's a chance you get a letter from somebody you don't really want a letter from, and then that ends up impacting you in the game. Like, if there are any former players watching this, like, let us know in the comments about this, because I feel like it's really weird to me that Katurah would get a letter from somebody who she's not actively speaking with. And I want to live in a world where production wouldn't do something like that to somebody, and I don't want to just accuse them of that, but it's very odd to me.
No, that whole situation was not only odd, but it was uncomfortable for me to watch. Like, if you have a very specific reason that you're not speaking to somebody, especially you're not speaking to a parent, then there's a reason for that. And whether or not anyone's like, oh, well, it's not okay that you're not speaking to a parent or you're not speaking to a kid, that's for them to decide. So if Katurah did not put her mom on that list, which I find it very hard to believe that she would, like, if I'm not speaking to somebody and Survivor's like, okay, give me a list of people you want to reach out to for a letter, people I'm not speaking to are not on that list. Like, especially if I'm in a game where I know I'm going to be hungry, tired, I'm not thinking straight. Yeah, give me the baggage. I'll take that. Give me somebody that, like, I'm not speaking to, because this is the perfect time when I'm mentally able to put all my concentration on something like that. Like, stop. Like, it didn't feel right to me. It felt like, and this is just my opinion, I don't know anything about it, that she did not put that name on that list. I don't know why she would. And unless she comes out to say she did, like, then Survivor did her really, really dirty. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, it was not a good TV moment. Like, there are TV moments where you want to have drama and you want to get to know somebody, but if Katurah wants to bring up something like that, I would rather it just be on her terms, as opposed to her getting some sort of letter or anything else that's prompting that discussion. And it clearly seemed to impact her, because I think that's the reason she was so struggling in that challenge later on, because it was so soon after that, and we haven't seen really any evidence at all of Katurah struggling really around the water all season, or at least in this capacity. So I have to feel like it was weighing on her to a certain degree.
That letter was shocking to me. That was more shocking than Bruce not using his idol. It was really shocking. Yeah,
like the rest of all this stuff is just, silly game-related nonsense. And that's just somebody's personal life. And that just kind of enters the show into a space that I don't think they need to be in. If we are going to be on here complaining about things, I would rather us be complaining about Probst inserting some stupid twist where, like, nobody gets to be able to vote, and then nobody's voting at tribal council, and then Probst is voting somebody out. Like, I would rather be sitting on here talking about that, which...
At least everybody voted tonight,
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the real surprise. Everybody voted, sure, there were idols in the game, nobody played them. This was almost like a regular traditional Survivor vote, except it happened in a season that, despite having a pretty good cast, has lost steam these past few episodes just because of it's being a predictable steamroll. And Bruce,
Yeah, I mean, Drew even brought that up, that it's
Yeah.
kind of like, we just pick somebody, tie him to the tracks, run him over. And it's just like, yep.
yeah, and I guess you can call this a dramatic vote out because it didn't have to happen, but it was going to happen to Bruce at some point.
Probably, yes.
As long as those four continue to stay together, like there was
Yes.
going to be a time when he wasn't safe, and he's just so happened to have done it to himself a little bit earlier.
Oh, Bruce. Okay, I'm pouring one out for you
Okay.
tonight, buddy. Like, oh my goodness. I'm so frustrated with him. I'm so sad he's gone. Like,
Yeah.
I know not everybody loved watching Bruce, but I'm not one of those people. I really enjoyed him. I think he was really entertaining and fun and funny and
Yeah.
just brought a different energy to the show. I like really big characters like Bruce. Bruce, I'm gonna miss you, man.
I'm gonna miss you too. Survivor needs characters. We don't always need game bots. It's great to have somebody like him out there who just has a different energy and personality. And I mean, with him gone, we are in this position now where Jake, my man, you're gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting moving forward.
No, we are in a position now to everybody put on your hard hat because we're just going to watch Reba steamroll everybody. Like, yes, I know there's the promo out there with Julie, but like promos are very misleading and they have been many times with this show.
I'm not giving up on you, Jake. This may be setting myself up for disappointment later, but like they really should get rid of Jake in the next episode now, by the way, because if he makes it to the end, Jake is winning and he's probably getting everybody's vote because he has just been sitting there on death's door for like 3 weeks in a row.
Yep.
People seem to really like him. The jury felt bad for him. You can do this, Jake. You are the chosen one. I'm sorry if I am cursing you to your fate because it seems like other than Emily, every person who I root for this season gets voted out.
That's okay. That's all part of the fun.
All right, we'll tie everything up now. But as we said earlier, weekly live streams all
Yep.
about Survivor on our Patreon. It is a really, really fun time. We want you guys to be a part of that. Check that link out in the description. And thank you to all of our patrons for your support. It means so, so much to us. We'll see you guys here next time.